Most people believe that Dubai is the most expensive place in the world. So I decided to do some research. I called up some of my friends who were living in the US. I called up some of my friends living in UK, Canada, Ireland, in different parts of the world to basically compare and to see exactly what the expense is like when you live in those countries in comparison to Dubai. And this is everything that they said. And when I compared that with how much I spend per month in Dubai, it turns out that Dubai is not that expensive. So how do you make Dubai to actually work on your budget? How do you live in Dubai if you do not earn that much money? How do you make Dubai work for somebody that is not a millionaire? In order for us to answer that question and to figure out your strategy of how Dubai works for you, let's start by asking the most important question. What kind of lifestyle do you have in Dubai? Dubai has a different budget for different types of people. If you want a very expensive lifestyle, that is when Dubai becomes very expensive. But if you want a modest lifestyle whereby you are still able to afford the luxuries of life while at the same time working well, Dubai can also give you that lifestyle as well. I formulated two types of lifestyle in Dubai. One lifestyle is called the frugal lifestyle. This is a lifestyle whereby you have to save as much as you make. This is a lifestyle that allows you to actually stack up your money and then find ways to make your money work for you. And then there's a second type of lifestyle, the extravagant lifestyle. This is a lifestyle whereby you are driving Rolls Royces every day. You are eating at Michelin star restaurants. You are shopping at Gucci, Dior, and Chanel. And if you're watching this video right now, at this very moment, I think you belong in the frugal lifestyle. Let me explain exactly what that means. The frugal lifestyle simply means finding new avenues to save money and cut back costs, especially when necessary. So the frugal lifestyle looks something like this. Cook rather than order. Take the metro rather than take a taxi. Shop at Shein rather than shopping at Dubai Mall. If you do most of the activities that I just mentioned, that means you belong to the frugal lifestyle. And if you do not, that means you belong to the extravagant lifestyle. Let me teach you exactly how to move from extravagant to frugal in order for you to save more money. I know you might be wondering, what is this girl talking about? Why is it important to be on the frugal lifestyle rather than the extravagant lifestyle? Let me throw out some numbers for you. Let me get my good friend ChatGPT to show you exactly how much you're spending in Dubai by not being frugal. As usual, I'm going to grab my laptop and do the exact numbers for you. I'm just going to use ChatGPT to help us calculate how much money you're spending by eating out every single day in Dubai. I want you guys to understand the impact of this on your finances in 5 years to come. So let's start. Hello chat. How are you, babe? Listen, I spend 50 dirhams per day eating out because I am too lazy to cook. Tell me, how much money would I spend in 5 years' time if I continue doing this? Show me the compounding effect. Let's go. You guys will not believe this. ChatGPT told me that you are going to spend 91,250 dirhams if you continue doing what you're doing. And every year you are spending approximately 18,250 dirhams on just eating out alone. Now, if you compound this number in 10 years time or even in 20 years time, you're going to be spending close to 200,000 dirhams to eat out. Thank you so much, ChatGPT. Let me put you away now. Okay, so that, my friend, is why you have to start looking into the frugal lifestyle, because you cannot allow 100,000 dirhams to just pass by you because you're not being conscious with your money. Okay, so before I actually dive deep on how you guys can start implementing the frugal lifestyle, I want to be very honest and transparent with you guys. The frugal lifestyle is not cute. The frugal lifestyle takes a lot of work. The frugal lifestyle means that you're going to say no more than you say yes. But if you implement this lifestyle very well, your future self of 4 years or even 2 years is going to thank you. The reason why I promote this lifestyle is because I know how life-changing it can be for you if you learn how to manage your money properly. Now that we have gotten all of that out of the way, let's enter the frugal lifestyle master Masterclass by Chioma. Frugal lesson number 1, I do not spend money on eating out every single day. I know that already is going to drive some of you guys into a coma, because I know how easily convenient and accessible everything is in Dubai. You can order your food, you can order online, you can even grocery shop online. Like, you do not even need to stress yourself. Like, Dubai is just built to make things very, very comfortable for you. But recall that thing that they said about your comfort zone being very deadly. The same rule also applies here. Now, in order for you to start saving more money, you have to start cooking more. You have to start cooking more. Somebody put this on a huge screen for me. You have to start cooking more. I batch cook my meals every single Saturday in order to save up more money. And to make sure that I stayed in the habit of being very careful and aware of my money, what I did was that I transferred all of my cash into Carrefour cards. So basically, Carrefour cards are basically like cards where you can shop for items in Carrefour. So the idea here was I did not want to have any of my cash in hand. I wanted them to be put already into an item that allows me to purchase groceries. The minute that you start implementing this, you're going to realize how much money you're going to start saving. So frugal tip number 1, transfer all of your cash money into Carrefour cards. Let's move into the second rule. Frugal lesson number 2, I do not spend money on cleaners. I know that in the previous money breakdown video, I had told you guys that I had allocated a certain portion of my salary into cleaners. Let me explain. I am blessed to be in a position whereby I can hire a cleaner, and hiring a cleaner does not dramatically or drastically affect how much of my savings I have at the end of every single month. Now, during my first, second, and even third year in Dubai, I used to do all the cleaning myself. But given the fact that I started doing more of content creation and I started doing more of brand deals, I needed to outsource my energy into things that were actually helping me make money. And I realized that one block that I had that was not really allowing me to do this was cleaning. I would come back every Sunday frustrated and stressed and tired that I did not have time to clean, and I hate staying in a dirty environment. I realized that this thing of not having a cleaner was actually costing me more than it was giving me. As I said, during my first, second, and third year in Dubai, I was the one doing all the cleaning myself. But it wasn't until last year when I did a time audit and I was trying to understand, okay, what is making me stressed? Where is all my time going to? And I realized that a huge portion of my Sundays actually goes into cleaning. And that single realization there, I immediately knew that it was time for me to outsource and get a cleaner. I have a friend that has a cleaner that comes to his house every single week to clean, and that's because he can afford it. Now, maybe you're not that friend. Maybe you're somebody that you still want to have a cleaner and at the same time you want to save money. In that case, I honestly advise you to either move to a bi-weekly cleaner or a once in a month cleaner. If you want to save money and still have a cleaner, you don't necessarily have to remove a cleaner completely from your entire schedule. You just have to balance the amount of times that your cleaner is coming to clean. So in my case, I have a bi-weekly cleaner. Because I share an apartment with my sister, during some days of the week when it's not too stressful, I can help out with putting things here and there. But on the weeks whereby things are very, very stressful and honestly it's taking too much of my time, I just hire out a cleaner. I'm sure that you guys must have seen the 1 billion summit vlog which I posted on the page. That vlog was filmed across 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Those were all working days for me. Now imagine if I was trying to hoard all my money and then tell myself that after that crazy intensive week I have to still go back home and clean. I would have burnt out. So this is exactly what I mean. You have to look at your time and you have to look at exactly your finances and see how the two can basically overlap. Saving an extra 20 dirhams every single week when it comes to cleaning might not seem like much, but over time that amount continuously compounds more and more. Frugal tip number 2. Know when to outsource a cleaner and calculate how many times you can actually afford to outsource a cleaner for yourself. Let's move into frugal tip lesson number 3. This lesson is one that I have mentioned repetitively across all of my videos, and if you've watched any of my videos, you would see that I have spoken so much about how not living alone has actually helped me save quite a bit more money. It has actually helped me even in my mental health as well. Now let me bring back this lesson here for you guys that have not watched the previous videos. I will say this once and I will say it again. Do not live alone. If you're in Dubai, do not live alone. In my case, I have a rent breakdown with my sister that makes sense. And having this rent breakdown just honestly allows me to save more money than the average person who decides to get their own studio or to even get their own 1 BHK apartment. My sister and I have a very good grip of our finances and exactly where our money is going into. And that is because we decided to make that commitment of actually sharing a space together and using that extra money to save up on things that were actually very, very important to us. This tip has honestly been one of the most life-changing tips for me in Dubai. I have met so many people that are being weighed down by mortgage, they're being weighed down by rent payments, they're being weighed down by so many things, and that is because they themselves do not have somebody else to support them. They themselves do not have like a parent or a sister or just somebody that could help lift off the weight of their bills. And I'm so thankful for my sister. I never really saw like the added advantage of actually having a family member here in Dubai until I actually sat down and looked at my finances. And I sat down and I spoke to my other friends about their finances, and I realized that I was actually doing really well, mainly because I had a sister. So frugal tip number 3, share your apartment. Do not live alone. Frugal lesson number 4, I know where my money goes. There's so many things that the average Dubai girl spends her money on. Things like gym membership, fitness classes, Botox, laser therapy, all of those things are nice. All of those things are actually very nice. Like take me for example, I did laser therapy in my first 2 years of living in Dubai, and that was because of a very different conditional health that I had. Now when it comes to right now, where I am right now in my 20s, I don't really see the need of investing so much in all those extra things. I have a gym in my building. I have a very good amount of activities that I take up during the week. So where I'm just coming from with this point here is you don't necessarily have to invest in things that don't make sense for you. I know some people that invest in paddle classes not because they actually enjoy playing paddle. They basically invest in these classes because they're seeing their friends do it, and it's not necessarily because they feel like these classes actually help them or these classes are actually things that are actually supporting them. And paddle classes are actually quite pricey. So I want you guys to actually sit down and ask yourself, are these classes really helping me? Is this really what I want to put my money into? And when you make that realization and when you sit with your numbers and you realize, oh, you know what, I actually could save that extra money, do it. Like, don't try to keep up with anybody in Dubai. Just keep up with your own self, keep up with your own standards. It does not always have to be you trying to meet up to somebody else's standards. It is completely fine for you to say, you know what, I can't do this right now. You know what, my finances do not align with this thing right now, but maybe next month we can check in. At least that's what I always use when I feel like I'm being forced to spend my money on things that I really do not want to spend my money on. And honestly, these are one of the many perks of also being a creator here in Dubai. There's so many things that I get access to for free. There are so many places that I have visited just because of I am a creator, and these places have honestly been amazing. Like, I don't have to pay money. I really don't have to think about, like, you know, spending money on so many things. I received a very huge box filled with so much perfumes, and for the next like 1 or 2 years I don't even need to shop for perfumes anymore. Skincare products, I have them stocked up. I've been receiving so many K-beauty PR. I've been receiving so many products from amazing brands here in Dubai. Even makeup products, I don't even really need to worry about makeup products up until the end of the year. So honestly, being a creator in that sense actually helps me to save way more money than not being a creator. So frugal tip number 4, either be a creator or learn to identify places where your money is being spent and where basically it doesn't make sense for that money to be spent. And when you identify those places, be bold enough to make a decision on what you should do with your money. Now that we have defined all of the changes that have to happen in order for you to move into the frugal lifestyle, let me share with you guys some tips that have actually helped me to make this transition so much easier in such a way that it doesn't feel like I'm stripping myself out of the lifestyle that I am already used to. Tip number 1, search for communities and join them. There are so many communities communities that are here in Dubai. There's so many hiking clubs, run clubs, cycling clubs, beach clubs. Like there's so many of them, and these communities basically find a way to like foster engagement with people that are inside. So take for example, if you wanted to go for a hike at Hatta, you have to first of all pay for transportation, you have to first of all pay for food, you have to first of all pay for activities, you have to first of all pay for all of those things separately, right? So there's so many communities here in Dubai that actually give you all of those things in like one price. So let's say you wanted to do this hiking thing, you might end up spending up to 500 dirhams, but you can actually join a community whereby they give you a package where you can do all of these things with just 150 dirhams. There's so many communities here, so you don't necessarily have to stop having fun or stop enjoying yourself in Dubai. You just have to find new, cheaper and more effective ways for you to save your money. Tip number 2, have a hobby. Hobbies are so important, especially if you live in this part of the world. You need a hobby to keep you active. You need a hobby to keep you engaged. You need a hobby to even strengthen your sense of self and your sense of purpose and your sense of just who you are. You can pick up so many cool hobbies and basically find apps that help you to foster those hobbies. So apps like ClassPass is amazing, and it actually offers you a better price versus if you wanted to do all these your hobbies separately. So my advice here is quite simple. Just find a hobby that you can indulge yourself inside and pour money into that. That way you're actually saving money, because think of it this way, right? If you were to go out in Dubai to eat out at a really nice restaurant, the average you would spend is like 50 to 100 dirhams. No, actually the average you would spend is 200 to 500 dirhams per outing. Now if you were to invest all that money into a hobby, that could carry you for like 1 month of practicing your hobby. So it's just all about being mindful and intentional of where your money is going and really asking yourself, this money that I was going to spend on food, maybe I could allocate it into a hobby that I'm actually interested in. The third tip that I have for you that has been so helpful for me has actually been visiting other Emirates in the UAE. I feel like sometimes we can box ourselves into Dubai or Abu Dhabi or just like, you know, a certain place and just feel like, you know what, if like my whole life has to revolve around that space, my whole identity has to revolve around that space, everything I do has to revolve that space. And that's honestly not the case. You are not glued to any Emirates. Use this time that you have to actually explore and learn about different cultures. The culture in Sharjah is different from the culture in Abu Dhabi. Culture from Abu Dhabi is very much different from the culture of Dubai. I basically want you guys to have fun while doing this frugal lifestyle, and the only way that you can have fun while doing it is if you save up towards an experience that makes you feel very excited. Now, in terms of visiting other Emirates, if you commit to yourself that every month you're going to visit one other Emirates aside from the one that you're in, it's going to make all of those sacrifices that you're doing definitely worth it. It's going to make you feel excited when you have to cook rather than pay for food. It's going to make you feel elated when you clean by yourself rather than ordering a cleaner. It's going to just make you feel empowered that, you know what, this is my life and I am here in Dubai, and that means I can actually take action and control over everything that happens. So the advice here is very simple for you guys. Have something that you look forward to. If it's not visiting other Emirates, it could be taking a trip out of Dubai. There are so many visa-free countries that you can visit if you have an Emirates ID. I have, so far for me, I have been to Georgia, I have been to Thailand, I have been to Zanzibar. For Georgia, I did not need a visa, but for Thailand and for Zanzibar, I definitely needed a visa. But my point here is that while practicing this frugal lifestyle, right, I was saving up money towards things that were actually important to me and things that I actually value. So when I think of the amount of money I have been able to save by just cooking, and when I think, okay, let me put like a percentage of that into a trip that I want to take by the end of the year, it just makes it all worth it. I want you guys to leave this video and just have tools that you can use to reclaim your power. I want you guys, every single person watching this video, I want you to reclaim your power back. I want you guys to reclaim your finances back. I want you guys to reclaim the hold that you should have on your money back. Like, this is your life. Nobody is meant to dictate how your money is being spent. That is your responsibility. And this whole idea that millionaires and only very wealthy people are in Dubai. That is honestly not true. From this video, I have showed you how so many normal people are creating an amazing life for themselves and how they're actually living here. Dubai does not have to be expensive. It really does not have to be expensive. It's just all based on what kind of life you want to have and what kind of things are important to you. You can make this city work so well for you if you're just willing to put your money into the things that actually help you go forward. We finally come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for sticking around, and thank you for watching every single thing. If you guys have any questions, definitely drop it to me in the comments and I'm going to reply each and every one of them. If you guys also want to learn about my real-time experiences as they're happening in Dubai, definitely check out the newsletter. This is where I drop every single thing about everything that I am learning while I am in Dubai. I drop everything about tips, about knowledge, about experiences, just every single thing that has literally shaped the city into a city that has worked for me. Thank you so much for sticking around, and if you're interested in learning more about how I actually budget my money, like finances by finances, numbers by numbers, like being very specific and nitty-gritty, you can definitely check out this video coming up here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.